Well, as you know, it's already been a rough offseason for the 49ers, rough training camp as far as the wide receiver position goes. And the 49ers were dealt another big blow, a bad blow to that wide receiving core, with Jordan Watkins being out for a month, give or take, probably might be more than a month with a high ankle sprain. And so Jordan Watkins, a rookie, fourth round pick from Ole Miss, has showed some very good things. Of course, he had that contested catch for 50 yards against the Broncos in the first preseason game on Saturday. But during the course of practices this summer, he's continually made good plays. And so with Brandon Ayuk out, with Juwan Jennings missing the past couple weeks, and some uncertainty, of course, with Demarcus Robinson. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But when you looked at who's going to be available for the 49ers from the wide receivers week one, because we don't know what Juwan Jennings, what that situation, how that's going to unfold. You'd assume that he'd be there week one, but it's been Jordan Watkins, it's been Ricky Pearsall, and it's been Russell Gage, and now Watkins is going to be out for a period of time. And the thing with Watson was, yes, he made that really good play on Saturday night, but he also, missed some assignments. So he showed his rookie side, but he's learning. And more than anything, he just needed the practice time. He needs to get out there. He needs to be on the field, learning with Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. And now he won't have that opportunity for a good period of time. So he sustained the injury Saturday. In the locker room after the game, there was no signs that anything was wrong. He came in Sunday not feeling great with the ankle. They went through the MRI process and everything and discovered the high ankle sprain, and so now he's out. So 49ers have that ability. They could go out and sign a veteran wide receiver, but Kyle Shanahan made it very clear on Monday that they don't want to do that. They don't want to panic. They don't want to go out and get, say, an Amari Cooper, maybe a Gabriel Davis. Nelson Aguilar is out there. They just don't want to pay the money that would take to get a starting caliber wide receiver because of the situation it would set them back for, in the words of Kyle Shanahan, later this season and even next season. So I think the 49ers are right now, they're going to ride this thing out. Brandon Ayuk, as I've stated many times before, more than likely will start the season on the PUP list, which would eliminate him from the first 4 games of the season. And then that week 5 game is a Thursday game, so that would be no practice time for anybody on the team really heading into that game. So I think the first time that we could really honestly expect that he could be out there would be week 6. With Demarcus Robinson, Kyle Shanahan he did reveal that they're going through the appeals process right now. And so what happens is Demarcus Robinson pleaded no contest to a DUI charge from an incident stemming from last November in California. Now that he pled no contest a while back, that opens the NFL to now suspend him. Under terms of the NFL's collective bargaining agreement or the policy on substances of abuse, it's more than likely, it's a 3-game suspension for that, but it could be more if there are extenuating circumstances. And in the case of Demarcus Robinson, according to the police report, he was speeding and he was uncooperative with the officers who arrested him. So therefore, it's a possibility the NFL could be looking at a suspension of more than 3 games. The appeals process, or what Kyle Shanahan intimated, was that the league has already told Robinson what the suspension is, and then Robinson's side can appeal it. And I don't know if there'd be any reason for him to appeal it if the initial jurisdiction had a 4 or a 3-game suspension. So we'll see where this thing turns out. The NFL doesn't announce the suspension until the appeals process has run its course. So we're holding steady for whatever the case may be, what the suspension is. But it certainly seems at this point a foregone conclusion that he will be suspended. It's just a matter of, is it going to be 3 games or is it going to be more than that? So that's where the 49ers are right now with the wide receiver position. Will they bring in another wide receiver? Maybe not, because Jacob Cowing, the second-year receiver who has not practiced at all. He got injured hamstring in the lead up to the first practice of the season. He's been cleared. He's expected to be on the practice field on Tuesday. And so that's a welcome addition to the wide receiver depth chart. 49ers he'll practice, according to Shanahan, he'll practice on Tuesday. Team has a day off on Wednesday. They'll travel to Vegas and then practice Thursday, day off Friday, or at least no practice Friday, and then the game on Saturday. So Jacob Cowing will be back. Again, that's good news. About the only good news for the 49ers, Jacob Cowing coming back. And let's see, Renardo Green was expected to be back. He won't be back this week. The thing on Jacob Cowing, he hit his miles per hour, which means he's physically ready to go. So that's why he's back. Renardo Green hasn't gotten there yet. He's going to miss another week. Michael Williams is going to miss a week. Upton Stout, 49ers are hoping that he can be back in a couple of days. He won't practice tomorrow, but 49ers are hoping that he'll be available to go against the Raiders. So those are some of the injuries of note for the 49ers and where they stand. Let me just check my notes here to see if I missed anybody. Juwan Jennings remains out of action. Watkins out a month. Richie Grant did not practice. Isaac Garendo out a couple weeks. And let's see, Robert Beal didn't practice. Givens is out until the season. Sam Okwanu didn't practice. Jordan Elliott didn't practice. And Michael Williams didn't practice. So those are some of the elements of the 49ers practice report, of their injury report. They did make some roster moves. Trevin Gibson, kind of a journeyman defensive lineman, 49ers signed him. They also activated Andre Dillard, an offensive tackle now. So he is in the competition. So he was a former first-round pick of the Eagles. He's an offensive tackle. Now he joins that competition for the backup spots. Spencer Burford and Austin Pleasance are the guys who have been the main backup offensive tackle. So Andre Dillard now joins the competition for a spot on the 53-man roster. So Jeff Wilson Jr. made his practice return to the 49ers. He said he got a lot of love from 49er fans when he came out and worked out a couple of weeks ago. The 49ers signed Amir Abdullah at that point. They did not sign Jeff Wilson, but then Abdullah sustains a ribs injury on Saturday night. They place him on injured reserve, which opens the door for Jeff Wilson Jr. So he steps right in, looking trim, different haircut, but Jeff Wilson returns to the 49ers. So I mentioned Trevin Gibson. Kind of interesting. Like, he's got a lot of practice time on Monday and made one of the better plays when he broke in, tipped a pass from Purdy, and Nick Bosa made the interception. So kind of a low-key practice. They had some red zone stuff. Ricky Pearsall caught a couple of touchdown passes, one from Brock Purdy, 5-yard touchdown catch against Terrell Luter. He also caught a touchdown pass from Mac Jones. Robbie Chosen. So now, talking about those wide receivers, a guy like Robbie Chosen, formerly Robbie Anderson, I like that has a chance to make the team to open the season. And one of the things that I guess maybe I kind of revealed by Kyle Shanahan was last year Robbie Chosen was with the 49ers practice squad. They released him before the start. I'm sorry. He was with the 49ers during training camp. They released him before the start of the regular season. They wanted to bring him back to the practice squad, but he ended up going to the Miami Dolphins practice squad instead. Robbie Chosen now has a legitimate chance to win a spot on the 53-man roster, as does Russell Gage, as does, some of the other veteran guys, Isaiah Hodgins, Tariq Owens. Like, the door is open for some of these guys to make the 53-man roster. But Robbie Chosen made the best offensive play of the day when he made a diving touchdown catch that was 9 yards, the back of the end zone. And he made that with Jalen Mahoney being the nearest 49er defender in the picture. Another good day for Nick Bosa. He broke through for a sack. Chase Lucas had a nice PBU. He's carried over his momentum as he's getting a long run with Upton Stout out. His PBU came against Junior Bergen. Junior Bergen's another guy who has shown some things as a wide receiver, but his path to making the 53-man roster is quite clearly as a return man. So now there's real competition with Upton, with Junior Bergen and Jacob Cowing. Jordan Watkins was also getting a lot of action, returning punts, fielding punts, but now that he's out, can eliminate that from the picture. But Junior Bergen had a really nice punt return Saturday night against the Broncos, but then probably should have gone up and fielded a punt, but it bounced in front of him. He kind of was rough during warmups today. I saw him muff a couple of punts, but real competition at wide receiver. I mean, pretty much across the board, there's competition for the 49ers at the lower end. I think we could probably go through and tell you, all things being equal, who the starters are for the 49ers on offense and defense. But, the key backup spots, or just the backup spots in general, very much wide open. And so probably more so than it's ever been. In fact, Kyle Shanahan said that in relation to the wide receiver position, more competition, more open than it has been. So, right now, a lot to be determined with the 49ers 53-man roster. They still have a lot more practices, 2 more preseason games to figure that out. And I believe it's August 26th, 1 p.m. Pacific. That's when each team has to have their final cuts in. So a lot for the 49ers to sort out. I guess before the Watkins thing, I know a lot of talk. Everybody's talking about the injuries with the 49ers, but not many of these injuries are situations that are expected to carry over into the regular season. Watkins situation could, Kevin Givens situation will, and then of course the PUP guys, Malik Mustafa and Brandon Ayuk, those will carry over as well. But 49ers, lot to figure out, and it doesn't sound like a veteran. They're going to tap that veteran market to bring in a wide receiver, but a lot of questions at a lot of different positions as far as the depth goes for this team. And wide receiver, with the injury to Jordan Watkins, is at the top of the list of areas where 49ers got to figure some things out, and that depth chart eventually will shake out. So that's the update from practice 13, 49ers here on Monday. Check out the written word. Check out my work at NBCSportsBayArea.com. And that is it for now.